general discussion. We are going to start the general discussion with Councilmember Barron, and we will be followed by Councilmember Narcisse.
Thank you, my colleagues. I just rise to share with you another perspective on Dr. Martin Luther King. When we talk about Dr. Martin Luther King, you'll hear things like social justice, equality. What you won't hear is a black radical socialist. What you won't hear, he was anti-capitalism. What you won't hear, he was anti-imperialist wars. Dr. Martin Luther King is a victim of being frozen in history. What the capitalist propaganda machinery does is they freeze black leaders in a point in their development that the white society is comfortable with. So they were comfortable with Dr. King when he said, I have a dream, when he wanted to integrate, but by 1967 and 1968, his dream turned into a nightmare, so he said, now I have a radical vision. He said, perhaps, to Harry Belafonte, perhaps I'm integrating into a burning house. That burning house was a colonial capitalist society. Dr. King said, I worked very hard to integrate, to reform the systems of the South. A little change here, a little change there, but now I think differently. There needs to be a radical rearrangement of the entire society, a revolution of values. When Dr. King came to New York and spoke out against the war in Vietnam, he couldn't find a black church to speak in. He had to speak at Riverside. Now they all have uncomfortable Dr. King programs and talking about social justice. And Dr. King's last year, when he was marching to Washington, he said, no more speeches, no more photo ops. He was marching in the Poor People's Campaign, wanted to set up Resurrection City to make sure that the $60 billion anti-poverty program was passed that John Conyers had put in. Dr. King was a revolutionary. He evolved from integration to revolution. But they won't talk about it because they want to be comfortable with having a dream.
Thank you, Councilmember.
I thank you.
Thank you. We're now going